Hi class, welcome back. This is week 1, activity 1.3, introducing your journey to becoming a creative leader. So early in the week we talked about why we need creative leadership at all, and the fact that our world is changing rapidly. It's becoming more unpredictable and more volatile. Some of the unpredictability and volatility are coming from negative things like climate change and hitting resource limitations. Other things are really positive. Things like are embracing and celebrating diversity or rapidly changing and disruptive technologies. So the upshot is, because our world is changing rapidly, becoming more unpredictable and more volatile, our old ways of organizing ourselves and leading ourselves are no longer functioning. And as an aside, I don't think I shared this with you last time, but if you're curious, go to this website, www.worldometers.info. I think that's it. And it just is a real-time it has some real-time numbers about the world population, resources, etc., and it's pretty shocking. It really emphasizes how rapidly our world is changing. So because of that, what the world needs is sustainable designers, and that's why earlier in the week I just thanked you so much for not just being sustainable designers, but making this commitment to getting a master's degree in sustainable design, and many of you are doing this while working and having families. So we badly need sustainable designers, and as you're learning, we also need creative leadership. Now you're going to be learning about design, of course, from all of your other courses, and this course is a little unique, and you're going to apply your design thinking to creative leadership. And as the weeks unfold, you'll learn more and more about what we mean by creative leadership. One of the things you'll learn is that creative leadership is a journey. It's not a destination. It's not an end point. It's not a goal. It's more of a personal development thing. So it's a journey where you're constantly learning and constantly becoming better while you're learning what creative leadership is about. And of course, it's a journey that never ends. And instead of having one destination, you've got little destinations along the way. And sometimes it's rapid to get to one destination, and other times you have to, climb metaphorical mountains or cross metaphorical rivers, and perhaps you'll hit treasures along the way. And like we said, it never ends, and you never quite know where this journey is going to take you. But ideally, as you go along, you keep building your concept of what creative leadership is and becoming a better and better creative leader. So what does it mean to become a creative leader? What are we going to do on this journey? Well, in this course, we're simply kicking off the journey, setting the foundation, creating, as you'll learn, your metaphorical map about where you want to go with creative leadership. But in this course, we're going to provide knowledge, skills, and understanding about what it means to be a creative leader. And if you haven't heard those expressions before, knowledge are simply the facts, the basic information. So you're going to learn about leadership and specifically creative leadership. And then, importantly, you'll develop some skills. Because one of the things that you'll discover is that just understanding leadership and sort of practicing leadership as your personality dictates is not enough. We need unique skills to be creative leaders as opposed to conventional leaders. And you need a unique kind of understanding. The old models of leadership, as we said, aren't working. You have to have an understanding of what it means to be a creative leader, an understanding of the context in which that leadership takes place. What else is really important about being a creative leader is having and understanding what your core values are and what your vision is for yourself, for your designs, for the groups that you're leading, and really for the whole world. Creative leaders have a really good sense of their core values and can articulate them, and they live by them. Now, being a creative leader also means knowing yourself. And of course, we all know ourselves, and maybe some of you spend time on other personal development things that help you understand yourself better. Creative leaders are always focusing on really deeply understanding themselves, because the first step in being a creative leader is to be able to lead yourself. The next step is stepping out beyond yourself and understanding others. And we'll go through different ways of looking at other people because creative leaders also need to be empathetic. And then will also, part of your skills will be things like creative collaboration and inquiry. So those are some of the skills you'll be developing. And at the end of the course, you'll develop your personally relevant guide to becoming a creative leader. And that's your portfolio project. So in the first half of the course, week 1 is about your course introductions, which you're going through right now. In week 2, we'll look at the general scope of leadership models. Week 3, we'll focus on nature's models of leadership. Week 4 and 5, we're looking at leading ideas into action. Week 6 and 7, we're looking at leading organizational change. And week 8, we'll take a pause mid-course to review and reflect. So in week 2, you'll get a chance to explore a range of leadership models and leaders, from King Henry to a woman named Maggie Doyle, who I think you'll really enjoy meeting, and explore how and why leadership has changed over history, and of course why that leads to creative leadership. In week 3, you look at leadership models found in nature. And most of you by now have taken a course in biomimicry, or I know it's been woven into all of your required courses. So just as you've learned to look to nature for inspiration and lessons for design, you will also learn how to look to nature for models of leadership, organizational structure, understand how systems work and systems within systems, and that will too help form your concept of creative leadership. In weeks 4 and 5, we'll be diving into this book. It's called Making Ideas Happen by Scott Belsky, founder and CEO of the Behance Network. The idea here is that the world is full, the world of sustainable design is full of ideas and idealists who thrive on envisioning what could be, but are often quite challenged when it comes to actually getting things done. And maybe some of you recognize that in yourselves. I know I do. I think many of you will see yourself specifically in this book as it goes through the different types of creative people and the challenges that they face in actually making ideas happen. And then he also presents a great new approach and tools, just specific, simple, logical tools for realizing your ideas and ideals as well as those of the people that you lead. In week 6 and 7, we'll go through this book, Tribal Leadership, by Dave Logan. And I think I've mentioned this in the past, and it's written in your documents, that this book, you can buy it hard copy, or it's available for free online as an ebook. Either way will work for this course, just depending on how you want to approach it. So here you'll learn how natural groups form and how to lead them from one evolutionary stage to the next. And he calls them tribal leadership stage, and these natural groups he calls tribes. And you'll see, you begin to see where your experiences fit within here and how we can drive towards the right here, towards the stages 4 and 5, and how creative leadership really starts to thrive at this end of the spectrum. In week 8, we'll take a pause, and like all good creative leaders, we'll review and reflect on what we've learned so far so we can move ahead with intention with our journey. Okay, the second half of the course, we really switch gears. The first half is more about that knowledge and a little bit of skills and understanding, and the second half of the course is really more about the skills and understanding and practicing being a creative leader. So we'll start with creating your first roadmap. So in week 9, we'll go through your first draft of your portfolio project, which you'll learn about very soon here. In week 10, we really dive into knowing yourself. Week 11, we'll focus on understanding others. And again, during this time, you'll be doing a lot more practice and less reading. And weeks 12 and 13, we really focus on practicing creative leadership with some new skills. Week 14, just like in week 8, we'll take a pause for review and reflection, and then week 15, you really focus on creating your final roadmap, which is your portfolio project. And again, we'll be learning about this right after you get done with this video. You'll look at your portfolio project, but just as a little preview, your portfolio project is going to be a metaphorical map, dashboard, and travelogue of your journey to becoming a creative leader. So, like any journey, you have to start somewhere, right? And some of you may be completely fearful of being a leader. You say, oh, I can never lead, I'm a follower, I'm introverted. Other people are already, some of you are already practicing leadership. Maybe you're in places of authority. This course is really about starting from wherever you are. So you are here, wherever you happen to be, and moving ahead from that point. Again, on your journey. And as we've said, it's all about taking baby steps. Eventually, becoming a creative leader is going to require big, brave, bold steps for some of you. But we'll start out with these baby steps. You'll get to practice and learn as you go. So we'll be supporting each other in this journey. And of course, you're always supported by your instructor. So as we said, what the world needs is sustainable designers like you, and we need creative leadership. But before we close this lesson, I want to share just one more thought with you. And I don't know if you've seen this before, but I really like this. It says, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go out and do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive. And I really hope you keep that in mind throughout this course and on your journey to becoming a creative leader. Okay, class, so we'll see you in the next lesson.